maybe we can, we'll see.
You have to unmute yourself, sir, first of all. I guess you are muted.
For them,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm very good, thank you so much. What time is it for you? It's 10 o'clock, right?
Yes, 10:30 all.
Half past 10.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, don't worry. So, you know the procedure, right? I'll ask you questions and you will ask me questions and then you will ask questions to others, right? This is how we will start.
Okay. So you can ask me a question for 7
Right, so can I start asking you questions then?
Oh, definitely.
Right, okay, thank you. And good evening, my name is Andy. Could you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Bimal. You can call me by my first name, Bimal.
Alright, thank you. And can I see your identification, please?
Yes, here it is.
Right, thank you so much. And can you tell me most interesting things about your city in which you are living in?
Well, talking about the most interesting thing, I guess I think we have mountains where we can see beautiful view of town, as well as there is one hill called Srinagar Hill, where we can view different mountain ranges, 10 different mountain ranges like Olagiri and Masapusre and so on. As well as there is also a palace nearby my town where lots of tourists come to see those palaces. And the major important things of this palace is it is built on the memory of Queen, and it is also believed that it is the Taj Mahal of Nepal.
Right, that's very good. So, could you describe places of special interest where you live? So that's also included in the first question. So I'll skip that one. So, what should be the best way for me to get to these places?
Well, I think you can go there by your foot. Also, you can go there by vehicle, but most people prefer to go there by foot because on the way they see different types of jungle as well as animals roaming here and there, as well as they get to meet with different local people where they can exchange the information as well as knowledge. And some people prefer to go by bus because it's a long way.
Right, okay, thank you. And should I go there at any special time of the year?
Yeah, definitely on the summer season it's quite enjoyable time because, as I said earlier, many tourists from different parts of the globe come to see this palace because the palace is built near the bank of river, which is built on the single stone. So I think it has a major importance for the construction as well as the architecture.
Right, thank you. And now I would like to ask you questions about food and diet. And what do you usually eat for the breakfast?
Well, I usually eat chapati and vegetable in my breakfast. And sometimes I love to eat eggs because it is a good source of protein for me. And also I love to eat cereals with milk.
Alright, and what is the most important meal for you in the day?
Well, I think lunch is one of the most important thing because for Nepalese, I think the typical dal or tarkali is important because it gives energy for whole day, and it will make your stomach feel as well. It makes you more happy after consuming those foods.
Right, thank you. And what should we eat to stay healthy?
Well, I think the most important thing is balanced diet food, like green leafy vegetable. Sometimes we have to eat protein, such as chicken and fish, because they contain large amounts of protein, which is required for our body as well. And sometimes we also need to eat some like fruits and the juice of the fruits, so that it will increase your immune system and boost you for the day.
Alright, thank you. And this is end of part one. Now I'll ask you questions in part two, in which I'll give you a topic and you have to speak about this topic for at least 2 minutes. And your topic is, I would like to describe celebration you recently participated in. Right? And some questions are where the celebration took place, when it happened.
Can you please repeat the question once again?
Yes, I would like you to describe celebration you recently participated in.
Celebration. And
Where the celebration took place, when it happened, what was, why it was held, what was being celebrated, explain why, how the celebration was conducted. Is that good to you?
okay.
I'm sending this one in Facebook chat as well. If you didn't find that one, you can refer to Facebook chat as well.
Okay, you can send me on this. I start?
Yes, please.
Well, I've been to different celebrations last years, and talking about one of the memorable celebration, I would like to talk about my best friend, marriage ceremony. It was held on 2021 August, and it was conducted on the Hotel Taj, which is near to my town. Well, I think as he is my best friend, we had such a plan to organize marriage function for him. So I think because I think marriage is one of the important part of our life, we need to make marriage more memorable in our life. So having said that, we went through certain occasion. We maintain certain type of dancing in this occasion, where we brought dancers from the different parts of the country, as well as the major highlight of the marriage ceremony was we get chance to invite those actors from Nepal. He was Rajkumar. He's one of the best actor of Nepal. He made those marriage ceremony most memorable. And in this marriage ceremony, I remember we had a lot of dance with the different people, and we had a little bit of competition from the bride and groom side. And unfortunately, we can't win the game, so we lost the game. And the major highlight of the marriage was also the fireworks, and we did some fireworks. We light some candles, and as well as we just blew those Prakash, and it was quite a rememberable memory for me, and I would love to be on such a celebration in coming years.
All right, thank you so much. And what role do traditional ceremonies play in the social lives of your country's people?
Well, I think the most important uh, things is that it will bring the community together, that they can exchange their knowledge and information, as well as it is a great way to meet with your relatives which you haven't met from the couple of years, and also it is also a way of exchanging different varieties of dishes, and you get chance to prepare different type of dishes and exchange those dishes with your friends and family members.
All right, thank you. And uh, how would you describe young people' attitude towards traditions?
Well, I think because of the technology, people are more inclined towards the internet. So I think these traditions are on the way of disappearance, because young generation don't want to celebrate this type of occasion as well as celebration. They are into on their own life, as well as basically they don't like to communicate with the people around the community, and I believe that these things make young generation different from the older generation.
Do some countries celebrate traditions more than others? What is your opinion about it?
Yeah, I think definitely as a Hindu culture, I think talking about Nepal and India, I think they celebrate lots of festival, because we have we have many festival in common, such as Diwali, where we enjoy with our friends, do some dancing, and I believe I think we are more focused on the festival rather than on the European, rather than compared to the European countries, because we believe that we should pass into our tradition to our younger generation, so that it will bring those community together and helps to build a relationship with them.
All right, and which traditions will continue to be celebrated in future as well?
Well, I think there are different type of tradition. As I said, well, Diwali is one of the important festival, as well as our tradition and culture. We Hindu people are known by those festival, and it's quite important for us, because it is a festival of light, as well as I think in this festival we are free from our tension, and we just celebrate so that we get together with our family members. I think this type of tradition will continue in the coming days, which will help to build great relationship among the younger and elderly generations.
All right, thank you so much. This is the end of your test, and you did a good job. I'm impressed with your answers, to be honest.
Okay.
You are improving on regular basis, and that's a very good point. Well,
I think my test is on April 10th, so I have to progress a little bit also.
all right, okay, thank you. Right, so will you be examiner for Junaid, please, if you don't mind?
Okay, definitely. I love Sufi.
All right, thank you, sir.
Hello, Junaid.
Hello, Bimal. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So you are well.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Okay. So I'll ask for question. Are you ready for the question? Speak.
Yeah.
Okay. We have these questions. So for the part one, I would like to ask question related to the water sports. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So do you like water sports?
To be honest, in my country we have not lots of opportunity to perform there, and obviously yeah, there are few sports related with water like swimming, and I also like it.
How often are water sports popular in your country?
Yeah, there are few sports in our country like swimming pool, and water related. What I mentioned, okay, it's difficult for me to identify what are sports.
So I think I asked you a difficult question. So, so I'll ask with you related to breaks. Okay, what do you normally do during your breaks?
Actually, when I find when I get any break, actually I want to do something which will be helpful for me. Actually, by the profession I am a student, and obviously I do study and busy with my studies. And when I find break, I go outside from the home.
So, do you prefer on long break or several short breaks?
Break means
Break means your leisure time or holiday.
yeah.
So you prefer a long holiday or a short type of holidays?
Actually, previous years I like long holiday, but nowadays during the pandemic we already find a huge holiday. Actually, it's lengthy for me because in the during the pandemic we have to stay for a long time in the home, so it will feel like boring, and obviously we need to holiday for everyone.
How often do you take a break?
Actually, in my daily basis, when I do any work, before the work, I concentrate totally on the work. After any work, I need a break for my refreshment, and it's this short break given me opportunity to perform the next work.
So, how important is it for you to take a break?
Yeah, I reckon it's essential because without it, we cannot totally concentrate for the next job.
So now we are on the part 2. Okay. So the question is, I can send you a question on Facebook Messenger. Are you ready for part 2?
Yeah.
Just wait a minute. So you can see the question on Messenger. Okay, sir.
Describing in interesting place. As tourist.
So are you ready?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, I would like to talk about interesting place, and in my life I have lots of opportunity to go any places, and in my life whenever I visited lots of place and I enjoyed from them that place. And a place where I visited 1 years ago probably, and it was an interesting place for me because this place, whenever we decided go there on that time, there was not far from my hometown. It's besides me, which is the Sea Mongol at Silet, and that place, when we were on the way, and from the few distance we have realized that we cannot reach properly because there are ways similar way for us, and we go through the way, and we reach the wrong way. So on the time we back from there and go this place. That place was very interesting for us because when we reach far from 1 kilometer, we can smell from there a teaspoon where we can smell that was the teaspoon. And moreover, me and my also friend were at that trip, and we enjoyed during the journey. Especially journey was very during the journey was very memorable for us. We hang out on that, and
So,
we.
So your time is off. So I gave you 1 extra minutes to talk because I want to hear from you. If you talk more, I think it will improve your speaking. So we can go for part 3. Okay, are you ready for the part 3?
Okay.
Okay. What areas of a town or city do tourists often like to visit?
So, sir, would you please repeat me?
What areas of town or city do tourists often like to visit?
Actually, town area always stay busy with the people, and they cannot lead their life properly because the industrial area are most industrial area in my town. And however, if we go from the few distance, obviously we can feel natural beauty from that areas.
So, should people pay to visit attractions such as museums and galleries? Why?
Actually, everyone should go museum to learn their culture as well as heritage, and they can able to understand their heritage and history. And a museum gives the opportunity to learn from it, as well as if we go there, obviously we can refresh ourselves. So I think everyone should go there.
So, okay, your speaking session is finished now. So you did a really good job, and I think you are improving day by day. So keep it up. So, what do you think?
That was very good. And well, I think as you mentioned, I mean, improvement is very essential, and
Yeah.
day by day he's improving, and this gives me good vibes, and this is what I want to say. Uh, yeah, that's positive things about him, isn't it?
Yeah. So, um,
So who will be my examiner now, please?
okay. Junaid, you want to be the examiner
For whom?
for himself, the Prakash?
Okay, really, it's opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dev sir, are you ready?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, I want to talk about part one about social media. Okay, which social okay which social media website do you use?
Well, talking about the Facebook, I use them all. But if you're asking me, the most I use is Facebook. And the reason is I have some, the Facebook posts where I have joined in, and I mostly spend my time with interaction with the students as well as the all my mentors to social media, especially Facebook. I mean to say over here.
Well, how much time do you spend on social media?
Well, I would say Uh, I don't know. I mean, I can't calculate it, but most of the time I keep on checking social media within hour or two. This is what I do.
Yeah, well, sir. Okay, now we should jump to the part two. Okay, describe something you like very much, which you bought for your home. Are you okay? Getting me? Okay, what you bought, when you were bought it, and why chose the particular thing?
All right, thank you so much for the cue card, and I would like to discuss about a table, dinner table I bought for my family. That was last year because earlier than that we were using a small dinner table on which we only 5 or 6 members can dine in. But the fact is, it was too small for the whole family. Whenever we are all together, we are approximately 12 members in our family. It's a combined family, to be honest, that it's hard to dine everyone together, right? So I was thinking about this thing. So I went there to one of the furniture store in my city, and I bought a new one. And that cost me around 8,000 rupees in my currency, including the wooden chairs as well. Uh, and that's very important. And why it is important? Because whenever you are dining with your all the family members in the night, you can share all these stories, and whenever you share all these stories, they gossip and enjoy the meal together. That gives the family time, and all these family ties, social ties between different family members get strengthened up. This is the most important part because nowadays, because of social media and the busy life schedule, people are hardly spend time with their family. But
Okay, sir,
earlier,
time is over.
all right, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir, I will discuss about this question about related to your Q card. Okay, why do some people buy lots of things for their home?
Well, I would say depends upon how much you are earning, and whenever you are started earning more, you try to expand it with the same pace. Spend it with the same pace, which is not good in my opinion. And the more money you earn, the more expensive, the expenditures you will do. Let's say, example of last year. I mean, it was lockdown here, and unfortunately, I wasn't working for 2 or 3 months. Then my funds were limited, and I spent my money with very wisely, I would say. So it depends upon how much you are earning. I mean, and whenever your salary increases, you are earning well, expenses goes with the same pace. So this
Okay.
is what my opinion is. That's why people prefer to buy more things when they were earning more.
Okay. Last question is, why don't some people care about how their home looks?
Why they don't care?
Why don't some people care about how their home looks? Their home looks.
Yeah. So I would say the people who stay in their family, who stay in their house, and they want everything clean, neat and clean, and that's why they prefer to look here, there. And they want to have the best thing around them because it gives them the sense of comfort, and this is very important for any home. That's why they prefer to stay home, and they want to decorate all these things to make things much more much more attractive to them, because everyone likes the place where they want to stay as per their wish. This is why they prefer to make decoration as per their requirements or their likings.
Well, sir, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for asking all these questions. I really appreciate that. And who is the next one, please? Rita madam, would you like to say something? Please, no. Alright, guys, who want to start again? Because we have a couple of minutes and
Yeah, I can speak. I can
Alright,
speak.
okay. So
Yeah.
we can ask.
If you want to ask me questions,
Alright,
yes.
so can I be your? I want to be your agent.
You're breaking up
Can I
though.
ask questions? Yeah, I think my signals aren't very good today. Junaid, will you mind asking questions because my signals aren't very good? Sorry.
So, sir, may I ask some?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me search. Okay. I will ask from the part 1. Okay, about neighbor. Actually, pronunciation. Okay. How often do you see your neighbors?
Oh, not so often. For example, this week I only saw one neighbor once. So not so often. It's because of the stay home, save lives thing for the pandemic. So we kind of avoid going out and seeing our neighbors.
Oh, well, do you invite your neighbors to your home?
Normally, yes. Before the outbreak of the pandemic, we normally did some kind of dinner with our friends, with our neighbors. Like for example, yeah, that's only big when the pandemic was not a thing yet. But what we do now, instead of having some physical or person to person what do you call meeting, we just meet on Zoom and we have our dinner over Zoom.
Okay. Has a neighbor ever helped you?
Yes, definitely. When we go, for example, for a holiday, we ask our neighbors to look after our cat and our plants while we are away.
Okay. The question is over. Okay. Will we go the part 2?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Ma'am, for you, describe a very difficult task that you succeeded in doing as part of your work or studies.
Okay.
What task you did? And second one, why this task was very difficult.
Okay.
And last one, how you worked on this task.
What's the last question, please?
How you worked on this task.
Okay. All right, so I can just start now.
Yes.
Okay,
Ma'am.
there were a
Please.
lot of tasks I think that I did in the past, and yeah, they were difficult. They were very challenging. But if I had to describe one today, it would be the task that I was asked to work as an undercover at the airport. We call it like, we don't call it undercover, but we were not supposed to tell anyone that we're going to that location and the time that we go there. And that was difficult because I was not even allowed to tell my own husband where I'm going and what time I'm going, because that was a classified work. So it was extremely confidential. So what I did, I went to the airport and I was met by one of the officers of, we call it CATSA, something related to Canadian aviation in Ottawa. And it was a challenging task because I had to pretend as a passenger in one airline, in one aircraft, and it was all arranged by the airport, and I had to have something in my luggage that was illegal, and I wasn't supposed to be caught. But if the how do you call that, customs will catch me, then I have to be, yeah, they would alarm the police, but then it would only stop the alarm if the CATSA officers will step in, that they would say, oh, okay, it's okay,
Okay,
because she works for us. Yes, okay.
Okay, we should jump the part. Okay, what are the most difficult jobs that people do?
I would say being a cop is difficult because your life is at risk. In the line of duty, for example, we had just one in the news yesterday or the other day. A cop was killed in the shootout in Colorado. So I think it's pretty difficult, not only for the individual but for the rest of the family.
Okay, ma'am, for your attention, last question is, why do you think some people choose to difficult jobs?
Some people choose some difficult jobs. It's because they want a challenge. They get bored when it's easy for them, but when they have to risk something. Okay, that's about it, guys. Okay, thank you very much. Now it's done, so I have to say bye, YouTube.